movie's a classic.
Yeah. Donald Glover album came out.
Oh yeah,
Gotta check that. We never did no. Oh yeah, we did Awaken My.
yeah.
You heard that the
Plus,
new Graph joint?
I heard what?
Graph. You know Graph, right?
Yeah, I heard the name before.
You got a new joint with state property. It's called Rockefeller Chain
Oh, nice.
with a freeway PD crack and a bleak. Like this shit is fire. You need a video for that joint. See? It's a mixtape nigga that's doing well. I love to see it.
Yes, sir.
One of the very few from the 2000s that's still relevant now.
What up, Q? God, I wish I still had this soundtrack, boy.
Hey, let Santa ever get it for you. Shouldn't be too pricey.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely get it again before the collection video, cause this collection video is gonna be in October, and probably starting in August, I'm gonna really start collecting some shit. I'm gonna send a schedule before I sleep too, just letting you know.
Okay.
Yeah, I cannot wait for this weekend. I'm gonna see Shamar and do wrestling. I'm gonna chill with AJ. I'm gonna do some money. This is gonna be my catch up weekend. You said Havoc is working on a new Mobb Deep album. Yeah, I heard about that shit too. Yeah, let me see who dropped some albums today. But the Rakim joint even come out today. Let's see.
Yeah.
Hold on. He just
What
dropped a
else?
single today. So
Oh,
he must have pushed it back.
right.
Oh well, at least we have Childish Gambino.
Right.
I mean, Bando Stone and a new one. 17 songs. Okay, I'm gonna start listening to this when I go to work in the morning. Fuck
And he
it.
got a movie coming out for it.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah.
I saw fucking Hulk Hogan at the Republican convention and shit. Well, of course, this nigga would be there.
Right. You already said the N word. So what's next?
Right. Where's his KKK outfit at? You plan on going to any concerts this year?
Oh yeah. Sunday they got DMC and Jadakiss in Queens. I might be out for there for that. Hopefully the weather's not too hot like last week.
Oh, that's
Um,
perfect. I have to work
we
late at
got
Sunday too. Perfect.
who else is Gorilla Nems? He having a Gorilla Fest. Ghostface Killer gonna be there. Static Selector. I think Tony Touch. So it's like that's in August. There's a lot of some other concerts coming up. Common and Pete Rock. They coming to New York for like 2 nights. Definitely want to see them.
So I take it you're gonna be out this Sunday, right?
We'll see how the weather is. Cause if it's too hot, I ain't gonna be out there. It's in the park, and it's like ain't no shade out there.
Okay.
We'll see. If it's like 90 degrees, I ain't gonna be out there.
Okay, because the reason why I asked because I have to work night audit on Sunday,
Mm,
and depending on what I'm still doing, if I'm still gonna be in Greensboro until I go to work and
right,
stuff like that, I might do something. If not, I might push to Monday. But I'll let you know when I'm working the schedule tonight.
right. We'll see.
I got a lot of dope ideas I'm trying to do next week. I had to redo a fucking video because the sound quality was bad. So
Right.
that's why this year I'm gonna update a lot of my podcast equipment. Trying to get some better mics and better equipment and shit. I'm not playing around and shit. I'm trying to take my shit to the next level. Also, soundtrack month is coming very soon, so I got a lot of dope soundtracks. We got some good, some bad. A lot of these are going to be bad movies with good soundtracks. That's letting you know. Jesus Christ. This Friday would be so much good if I didn't have to work in the morning. Fuck. And it's gonna rain shit. But most people don't have a fucking job, so I guess I have to be grateful.
Exactly. Be grateful.
Speak of the devil, look what I found.
Yes. Q.
Yeah, Amber Rose, that's another story right there. Q. I thought ass. I'm ready to start whenever you are.
Let's go.
Alright, what's up, you two? How's everyone doing this lovely day? It's your boy Reg in the building. I got my homeboy trying to building with me. How you doing?
Chilling.
Alright, before I start, I'm gonna give a quick rest in peace to Bob Newhart. Comedian, actor, and shit like that too, you know what I'm saying? Passed away at 94. Gonna give a quick rest in peace to him. Um, so today we're gonna talk about one of my all-time favorite movies of all time, Boys in the Hood.
Mm-hmm.
This movie was written, directed by John Singleton, and it came out July 2nd, 1991. Well, at first it was exclusively released in Los Angeles in July 2nd, but it was released everywhere else in the country July 12th and stuff. So just letting you guys know, you know how we always do it. Try. How did you get into this movie?
I went to see it actually when it came out. You know what I mean? And it was definitely caused a lot of controversy at the theater. You know, white America was scared of this movie, and it was seeing Ice Cube for the first time on in a movie, and him playing Doughboy, and the star-studded cast with Lawrence Fishburne. I think this was like the first time I seen him in shit. No, actually the second time. First time I seen him was he was in a Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3, and the This is the second time I've seen him in the film.
Oh wow.
He played Furious, and he played Trey's dad, and just seeing the story of how, like, Trey having two parents. He actually had two parents in his household, which was uncommon because not all of us grew up with two parents. But having two parents in his life, even though he stayed with his mom, and going to stay with his pops and Furious, and having um Furious, you know, I guess teach him how to be a man. When he got out there when he was really young, and showing him the ropes and having to do his chores and stuff, and um that's something that I didn't see growing up, in my life, and you know it was good to see that, to see John Singleton, rest in peace, to see him, you know have this story center around, you know Trey, uh, uh going to live with his pops, and having his pops, stand up and be a father to your kid. You know what I'm saying? And along the way, we see the other characters, Doughboy, and Ricky, and they were brothers. And did they have the same dad? They didn't have the same dad, right?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they never expounded on that. Um, Same mother but different dads, and unfortunately, that's something that happens in the hood, even now. And you know, we see Nia Long. She played Brandy in the film, and she when Trey, seeing Trey go from a kid to a young man, and how she entered his life, and you know they got into they were mischievous as kids too. Like, they got into the trouble, but got older, and they had to deal with other problems, being older, that they probably normally wouldn't have to deal with as a kid. You know what I'm saying? And you know, it was more than just a hood film. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like, in the '90s, there was a lot of hood films, but not all of them had like a good story behind them. And this was like at the top of all the hood films that had like a great story, a coming of age film in the hood, set in the hood. You
Right.
know, I think I remember when I was at the movie theater, and after it went off, I'm like, yo, I've never seen Ice Cube in no movie until then, and I think he deserved the Oscar for this shit, because he just it don't seem like it was hard for him to do the role. You know what I'm saying? Being that he was from the hood, he was in one of the most iconic rap groups all time with NWA, and it don't seem like he had to like really you know learn a lot of dialogue. I mean, he probably could have freestyled it, really. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I think he was phenomenal in the film. Cuba Gooding Jr. Playing Trey Styles was great, and you know um Morris Chestnut is everybody knows Morris Chestnut as Ricky, and they know Ricky for getting killed, and that is bad. You know what I'm saying? I think he was good too. He's a great actor. He went on to do other great movies. You know what I'm saying? Angela Bassett, and still doing it now in this day and age, and she was great in this film, and it was just a great cast for that time, and the the cinematography, and you know um the music, everything went with each other the way it's supposed to. And you know, you seeing Ricky's character where he was athlete and was he going to college or he was already in college? He was going to
Yeah, he
college,
was
right?
going to college on a scholarship.
Scholarship, right? And what could have been with Ricky and just so much potential that he had and Doughboy, what would have happened with Doughboy? You know what I'm saying? If he didn't get killed. You know what I'm saying? I think probably with him, he probably would have ended up getting killed anyway. Just living that life. You know what I mean? And you seem like his homeboys, like, yeah, one homeboy that was in a wheelchair.
Yeah,
Um, he had other homeboys that had gotten killed, and I think that was eventually in the Doughboy. But with Trey, Trey had his pops made sure he was on the straight and narrow, even when even when he felt like going after the gangsters that shot Ricky. You know, Furious was like, "Give me the gun, Trey." You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
I'm not gonna let you be like them. And he learned that at a young age. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what Doughboy and all your other homies do. Like, you're not them.
right.
You
He's not
gonna
going to make that same mistake.
right, and that's a real dad. You know what I'm saying? Making sure that you let your kid know that you are you. You are not everybody else. You're not gonna do what everybody else do. You know what I mean? And you know, that was powerful. You know what I'm saying? I love the scene where you know, Trey goes to where Miss Baker like was cooking. She had like a cookout or whatever.
Yeah, I love that scene.
And he brings back a plate for Furious. you know, I always got the impression that Furious and Miss Baker messed around back in the day,
You know what?
but
I did too.
it didn't lead to nothing serious. Thank God. Because imagine Furious getting her pregnant and she
Right,
have you have Doughboy and Ricky also. You know what I'm saying? That would have been a mess.
right,
And I always felt like they had something going on, or maybe they were flirting, but it didn't lead to nothing serious. And I like that scene where he brought back the food and Trey, like that's how broke they was. Like Trey had to ask his dad for a haircut. Now normally growing up, we would I would get money to go to the barber. You know what I'm saying? Trey, his pops didn't have it like that. So he literally had to get his haircut in the kitchen by his dad. His dad had to touch up his fade or whatever. And I'm like, that was like dirt broke. When your own parent is doing your haircuts for you.
and my dad used to do my haircuts back in the day.
Really?
Yeah.
But he don't do that
Me.
no more. You got a quick cut. Your daddy didn't do that.
Oh no, he didn't.
Nah, he ain't do that. You know what I'm saying? And but the thing is like Trey. Remember when he went to the cookout, he had like this fly shirt on. So I'm like, well, where did he get that from?
Right,
You know what I'm saying? It's like if your dad is dirt broke and he gotta like give you a haircut, where did you get the fly shirt from? Was it at a swap meet or something?
that's a good
You
ass
know what I mean?
question.
So I always like scenes like that, and you know it was just a powerful movie. Like the trailer, I remember seeing the trailer for the movie and the score for the film. Stanley Clark, Quincy Jones, just some legends. And it made me feel, being from the East Coast and from New York City, like we never had to deal with that. Like I never had to deal with gang banging and joining a gang, and so I've always looked at the West Coast as like, the outside, from the outside looking in, and you know listening to them tell their tales of, you know how it was in the streets out there. Listening to NWA and listening to the Cube and Pac and all them. You know what I'm saying? And just
Yeah.
getting that perspective of how how kids have to grow up. In their neighborhoods out there, it's a different lifestyle compared to over here. A lot of those kids that grew up that were in gangs, that shit was already in their family. Like they seen they parents and they grandparents, they uncles, they brothers and sisters in it, and they grew up in it. You know what I'm saying? And that's some rough shit to deal with. Is like, especially when you get of age, like we see with this movie, like with Trey and Ricky and Doughboy. From being little kids to like grown men, and they have to deal with some grown men problems, and some of that shit they couldn't get back from, they couldn't escape, and that's a rough upbringing for any you know kid to deal with when it comes to
Right.
gangbanging. And that's something that we didn't know about that over here. You know what I'm saying? And so that was always like my looking through the glass, like when you see movies like this, like what is it like for a kid growing up in a hood in California, and what they got to deal with. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? And you know, I felt bad. I felt bad for all of them because that's something that they didn't ask for. It's just part of their environment. Especially like when you see Ricky, like he was not the gangster like his brother and the rest of his friends. You know what I'm saying? And he cared more about playing sports and becoming a big time NFL player, big time star, and his life was cut short. That was like probably the saddest scene in the film. I remember there was like people crying in the theater when he got shot. You know what I'm saying? And Trey having to deal with that, having to see one of his best friends get killed in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Like that the effect that'll have on somebody mentally for like the rest of their life, he'll always remember that. You know what I'm saying? And I felt bad for him too. Doughboy, just it was like you knew Doughboy felt bad, but it was like he was too gangster to even show it. Like he just played it off like, I'm gonna go get them niggas that killed my brother.
Right.
Come on, let's all roll. We going to get them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like he was ready to get them. You know what I'm saying? But you could tell like it bothered him too. You know what I'm saying? But I don't think nobody should have to like grow up in that type of environment and lifestyle. But so a lot of them, like I said, like a lot of them are born into that. So it's like that's all they know. You know what I mean? And it's just fucked up. But this was like a powerful film. You know what I'm saying? And when it came out, of course, white America is gonna bitch and complain about it. They were scared. Especially at that time in the '90s, early '90s, when we had like movies like this in New Jack City, that they were when those movies came out in the theater, there was actual violence going on in the theater. So it's like,
Right.
of course the news, the 11 o'clock news, they're gonna put, shooting at theater when New Jack City's being played. So it's like they try to like um blame the films on the violence, on the gun violence. You know what I'm
Too
saying?
stupid.
Yeah, they try to paint like a black eye on those type of films, and we already knew that it wasn't the films. You know what I'm saying? It's it was just again, it was just people, ignorant people being at the theater and doing stupid things, and while these movies are out, and of course they're gonna pin it on hip hop and pin it on the movies, and see, look what these movies and the music got these people doing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So but it was a powerful story, and I think it's a great film. I've seen this movie like hundreds of times. You know what I'm saying? Like having going to see it, then getting it on VHS back in the day, and it's been great. It's been a great film, and then a lot of these actors and actresses went on to do bigger things. Lawrence Fishburne is still killing it in Hollywood after all these years. He's been
Facts.
in so many great films and Broadway plays. Angela Bassett, one of the best African American actresses we have in Hollywood. Tina, the What's Love Got to Do with It? One of her best films ever. Playing Tina Turner, and she's been in a lot of great stuff. Morris Chestnut, like I said, been in a lot of great things. The Best Man, I love that film. Cuba Gooding Jr., him as well. I mean, he hasn't done nothing good lately. He's been in the news, but Jerry Maguire,
Right.
he got an Oscar for Jerry Maguire, if I'm not mistaken. You
I hate
know,
that movie.
you don't like that movie? It
Nah.
was it was cool. I watched it. It was cool. I didn't think he was gonna get an Oscar for that though. But
Right. You telling me he got an Oscar for that, but not Boys in the Hood? Really? Okay.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's Oscars is still so white. They were still so white now. They were still so white then. I didn't expect nobody in this movie to get an Oscar nomination. They deserved it though. Cuba Gooding deserved the Oscar nomination. So did Ice Cube. You know, I would even say Lawrence Fishburne too. I think all three of the guys deserve the Oscar now, or at least supporting actor. You know what I'm saying? We had Regina
Yeah.
King in this film for like a hot minute, and she's a great actress as well, and Tyra Farrell, who played Miss Baker, and it was a star-studded cast that when you look back at the film and you see how their careers have took off after this movie. It ain't too many films that's like that, from like 30 something years ago. You know what I mean? So this was great, man. And John Singleton was a great director. Like all the films he did, I enjoyed. Like this film and Poetic Justice, Baby Boy. I went to see all of them, and all of them had great soundtracks. And we lost a good one, definitely.
Yeah. Rest in peace, John Singleton.
Yep.
I First of all, that was a good thoughts and analysis. Um. So I remember I actually saw the movie for the first time. I saw the movie for the first time in 2007.
Oh
You know what
wow,
I'm saying? Yeah.
2007.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like I was like 11, 12, I think 11 years old.
Right.
And hold on. This is when I was kind of getting into like hood movies at the time too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I've always loved this movie and shit like that too. I loved how raw and gritty it was. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I've always been more of like a menace to society guy. Don't get me
Uh-huh.
wrong, but this was a more culturally important movie, if that makes sense too.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I love the how big comparison when it comes to society and Boys in the Hood was like Boys in the Hood pretty much felt more like a hope for the hood with Men's Society. They reveled in that shit. And
Right.
yeah, I've done a review on Men's Society years ago, so y'all can check that out. It's kind of crazy too because John Singleton, they didn't Columbia Pictures didn't want John Singleton to originally do the movie and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? Because of his lack of experience, but he ended up beating that shit. You know what I'm saying? He said he didn't want nobody telling his story, especially somebody from Idaho and whatnot too. And Easy E was originally supposed to have been in this movie, but he said the movie felt more like an after school special. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, man. Very dope movie. I mean, you had one thing I liked about this movie was it casted like a lot of unknown actors at the time. You know what I'm saying? Well, not unknowns, but like people who were like getting their start in Hollywood and shit. Like Cuba Gooding Jr. He was already doing television appearances up to that point. You know what I'm saying? Morris Chestnut too. Of course, we all know Ice Cube. He came straight out of NWA. He was already solo up to that point. A little trivia too when it came to Ice Cube, pretty much. John Singleton, from what I looked up, he actually saw him at a concert a couple times, and Cube did like a screen test, but the original screen test, Singleton said it was not that good. You know what I'm
Wow.
saying? That's why he had to redo the screen test, and the rest is history. And John Singleton pretty much influenced Cube to write screenplays and like movies and shit like that too. So,
Really?
if it wasn't John Singleton, we probably want to have like Cube Vision, like Friday, and Are We There Yet, and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, man. What else about this movie? What else about this movie? And yeah, so like you mentioned before, with this movie, it definitely displayed like a lot of like realistic shit going on in the hood because it's what's crazy though. I want to talk about something.
Mhm.
Let's talk about Doughboy and Ricky's mama and
Right.
whatnot. You know what I'm saying? She treated Ricky like the
Like
favorite, but
shit.
it's you said what?
She treated Doughboy like crap.
Right. But at the same time, like Ricky got there's a father early and shit like that too, you know what I'm saying? But she never really fully judged him for that. But yeah, Doughboy, he had his shit going on. He went to jail and everything like that too. But at the same time, that whole different daddy shit always can play a factor when it comes to like people and shit. It's not just like black people, but just other races too, you know what I'm saying? And even the
It's
team of
mostly it's mostly our people though.
I mean, yeah, yeah.
You know that what kept the Maury show in business, it was our people, unfortunately.
Unfortunately, yeah. And what was I about to say? What was I about to say? Yeah, pretty much. When it came to like that scene when Ricky died, and she just attacked Doughboy and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? I automatically thinking it was him. You know what I always wished?
Mhm.
I always wish I would have seen her reaction when Doughboy got murdered and shit. If that makes sense.
Right. They never showed that.
And that's the thing that kind of like they kind of gave like a Spike Lee. Johnson gave us a Spike Lee ending. Like a lot
Right.
more can happen and shit because you would think that this moment, if it was like a casual movie watcher, you would think
Right.
this is the moment where Doughboy is gonna change his life and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? But then,
Mhm.
of course, he tragically got passed away. He got murdered
Right.
and whatnot too. So it's like that retaliation shit. But then Trey ended up
I
going to
wanted
college and
I wanted to see Doughboy curse her ass out.
right.
That's
Yeah,
one.
and Trey went to college and shit at the end. And another thing I loved about this movie was when Trey came back after the retaliation scene, and
Mhm.
that scene when Furious gave him that look. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? And to me, that is like the best acting Lawrence Fishburne has ever done. And I'm gonna tell you why though, because with that look alone, it could be it can say different things, right? The
Mhm.
first thing I got from that was this like as a disappointment to his father as a father, he felt like he let Trey down and
Right.
stuff like that too, because he ended up going to retaliation, but he didn't know exactly what Trey did, right?
Mhm. Right.
But the other side of the coin, it could be a look like he understood that something told him that Trey didn't actually do what he did, but he didn't want him to see that. He still just wanted it's kind of very complex. Like damn, I just had it too. It's like he knew the other side of the coin is like he knew Trey didn't do it, but at the same time too, he don't know what exactly is going through his mind. So it's like he kind of played it off in so many different ways, and I always felt like that was Lawrence Fishburne's single best moment as an actor. You know
Yes.
what I'm saying? This single best moment as an actor. Like, yes, I love The Matrix, Higher Learning. I loved all that shit. Hoodlum, which is a very underrated movie in itself, but Boys in the Hood is Lawrence Fishburne's best role. Period.
Hmm. I agree.
Very like he was like if Uncle Phil wasn't in a movie and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? And
Uncle
let's talk
Phil.
about. I want to also talk about Cuba Gooding Jr. too. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you guys know on this channel, I kind of give Cuba Gooding a lot of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because I know he always picks a lot of. I always feel like he was not as consistent as people think he was.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I always feel like this was also possibly his best role too. You know, because Trey was like the happy. I wouldn't say happy go lucky, but as a kid he was like rebellious. But then he kind of
Right.
like chilled out as an adult
Right.
and too. And that he's a character you really root for. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
But at the same time too, a popular opinion, and I might get a lot of flack for this. The scene where he had
Popular
that
opinion.
breakdown, the scene where he had that breakdown, I felt like he was a little hammy and shit
Oh boy.
when he was in the air. Great scene.
Oh boy.
I love that scene though, but
What's wrong with you?
what? I'm being honest.
Oh man.
Yeah, man. Like the whole cast was great too. You know what I'm saying? The whole cast was great.
It was.
You said what?
It was.
You said what? Oh, never mind. But
They
also
were
too,
excellent.
definitely,
They were excellent.
yes. And also too, what was I about to say? What was I about to say? The fact that St. John Singleton used actual real gunshots, that was fucking genius. So he can make sure the reactions were all real and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? So and he was actually in college. He in his last year of college, and he barely even went to class because he was working on this movie and shit too, which is understandable. But hey, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. You got any favorite scenes from the movie? Okay, he muted his mic. But yeah, I gotta talk about a few favorite scenes in the movie. Um, one of my favorite scenes from the movie, I have to say, was scene where the cookout scene. I don't know when it comes to her movie. Give me 1 second. When it comes to her movies and whatnot too, you know what I'm saying. I've always liked when they did like a cookout scene. You know what I'm saying? Like Poetic Justice did one, Menace to Society did one. What was that one other movie? One other movie. You know, the whole feel good kind of shit. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Poetic Justice definitely had one of the best cookout scenes ever, in my personal opinion. But that's besides the point. You know, everyone all grown up and everything like that too. And then we see how Doughboy and his homeboys they were talking about AIDS epidemic and everything like that too. Because you got to remember this was 1991, and the whole AIDS epidemic was still on high as SL and shit like that too. So it's interesting as hell. They were talking about that, like they were joking about it at first, but at the same time, they all. I think it was Dookie who pretty much was all like, "Oh well, your dick won't fall off, right?" But then Doughboy called him a mark and shit like that too. So I've always felt like that was a pretty dope scene and shit. Another good scene I loved was the scene where the gentrification scene. way ahead of its time.
So we doing like top 5 scenes or what?
We're just randomly, I'm talking about favorite scenes. Yeah, I
Well,
was actually I was actually just saying like I love the cookout scene. I was just
yeah.
now talking about the gentrification scene, which was way ahead of its time, especially for
What's that?
1991. You said what?
Which one?
You know when they went to go to Furious's job, and he was
Oh
talking.
yeah. And they were
Yeah,
asking him about the real estate and all that.
yeah.
Yeah,
Thing in 1991,
yeah,
niggas didn't really know a lot about gentrification at that time too. You know what I'm
facts.
saying? The fact that John Singleton put that scene in the movie, that was a very well done scene. Um,
Right.
Whitman Mayo, who you guys should know played Grady from Sanford and Son
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that too. He actually um appeared on that scene and stuff like that. He made a cameo and everything too. So also another scene too, the little trivia was when Doughboy and his boys jumped a random dude who snatched off Dookie's chain. Little trivia though, if you guys watch closely, the dude is wearing a "We Want Easy" shirt, and this is at the height of the whole NWA beef and everything like that too. And originally, John Singleton wanted NWA members to be part of the movie, but at the same time, of course, that was not going to happen and shit like that too. So that was kind of like a little subtle shot to Easy E. You got a
Oh,
little. You said what?
like this. I didn't know that.
Yeah, but if you watch the movie like in TV versions, like let's just
Yeah,
say like
well, I always seen it like on cable or I had the VHS.
yeah, that's what I was saying. They
Yeah.
bleeped out the "We Want Easy" if you watch on certain TV versions and shit.
Uh, I didn't know that. That's wild.
Yeah,
That is crazy, man.
but yeah, you got
Oh,
any favorites? Here?
wait a minute.
Okay.
That's wild. I did not know that.
Yeah, not a lot of people know that.
How did Easy take it though?
I mean, at that time, I mean, they were
Yeah.
throwing shots at him subtly. I think. I mean, how do you think he still felt like Boys in the Hood was like a after school special and shit like that too? So
Right. Right. Yeah. He might have loved that shit. But he because they dissed him, he might have been like, yo, this shit after school special.
yeah. Oh, shout out to Ant by the way. He was going to join us, but he's still stuck doing comedy. Just letting y'all know.
It's all good. There'll be others. You ain't missing nothing. There'll be others. People. We're like the hood critics. The hood Siskel and Ebert. Who else gonna do it? You know. See, like that scene with the real estate, they like it was gentrification, but there was actually no white people that moved in yet.
Right.
So it was like it felt like Furious was giving like a seminar to hood niggas. Like
Exactly.
this is what to expect. It's not all y'all not gonna be here to see it, but the ones that are, your neighborhood is gonna change very drastically.
Yeah. Enjoy it while it lasts. That's what he's pretty much saying.
Right. And now you see what's happening in 2024. Like all the hoods basically have gentrification now.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's like, and I think I don't know. Like I heard Spike Lee say he didn't like it because they were kicking out the mom and pop stores. But as a kid, we didn't have no white friends. You know what I'm saying? There was no white friends on our block. Well, we had black, we had Hispanic, and we might have known some Korean friends in school. But I think it's good that kids grow up in a society where there's other races they can play with, make them more, versatile and shit. Like the world is
Facts.
bigger than your block. That's the problem with a lot of hip hop heads that we come across. Like they want to throw region at us. I'm like, the world is bigger than your fucking hood. Y'all gotta realize that.
That corny shit. Don't even get me
Hip
started
hop
on
is
that.
global now. It's not about east and west and north and south. You know,
It's
and
Friday. Let me stop.
niggas got to go out and travel and see the world and realize that the world is bigger than just a block in a neighborhood.
Right.
You know, I like this scene with Trey about to get some buns from Neil Lawrence character.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like that shit reminded me of like it reminded me of like remember the Inkwell in the Inkwell when same shit happened with the Lorente character and he was trying to get buns from Jada.
You know, it's been years since I've seen that movie.
Yeah. Say it was like the same scenario. You know what I'm saying? It was like he was there for the summer. I forgot Jada's name in that movie, but he was like he was trying to get with Jada Pinkett's character, and they end up hooking up, and you know, she was the right one for Trey. I think she was the right girl because he had like some hood boogers, and he would have gotten caught up with having a baby with a chick he didn't want to be with.
Right.
You know, that's like the hood tale in every hood. You know what I'm saying? But there's every hood have a Trey that gets caught up with a hood booger that he don't want to be with. You know,
Hood Booker.
and he's like he was telling that story, and I think they thought he was bullshitting too, yo. Then they thought he was bullshitting. Remember how like her father, he had told the story, and her father was like her parents like came home or something, you know.
Yeah.
But he hooked up with the right one because she was like the right one for him. Like she cared about him. That hood boogie didn't give a damn about him. You know? That's what she was. She was a hood boogie. She had a gold tooth in her mouth. This is before like
They didn't make
piercings and
that shit up.
shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know, and
Didn't
colorful,
you make that shit up too?
and colorful weaves and shit. Now if they did that shit over, they would have gotten Sexy Red for that. Oh, she's a hood booger.
Right. But yeah, he made up that fucking story too, right?
What you mean?
You talking about that hood booger he made up in that story where
What
he was
I
having.
mean, did he make up the story or did it really happen though?
He said he made up the story.
Or did he make it? Oh, okay. I thought it really happened though. You know what I'm saying? I thought it really happened, and you know, his homeboys didn't believe him.
Yeah, he said he when he was telling Brandy, he was like, "That's my business" and shit like that. When he told your boy.
That's what she was. You know, you gotta stay away from them.
Can't trust the big butt. Can't
Yeah,
trust
exactly.
the big butt.
What BBD said in 1990, never trust a big butt and a smile. Yep.
All right. You got any more favorite scenes?
I like I wanted to see a scene with Furious and the mom like rekindle whatever they had. What happened? Like they were just too young and they just like broke up, or
No, they never really got into that.
yeah, they didn't really get into that. We just knew that they were estranged and they had a kid, and I felt like she was like too busy to worry about Trey, so she let his dad handle him. You know, and that unfortunately happens too. You know what I mean? But I wanted to see like another scene, like with them like expanding on their past relationship. We didn't get that. You know. I thought it was great, man. There's just so many like great scenes, and You know, they never showed when Doughboy went to prison either. Wanted to see that. You know, like at least like a flashback scene of, you know, when he went in, when he came out. You know, cause like when they had when his mom had the cookout, that was for him, right? When he like came home,
Yeah, that was for him.
right? So how long did he spend in jail?
That's a good question.
Cause I'm thinking, what did he go to jail like when he was a kid and he just came out when he was like grown?
I know one theory. It was like he was in and out of jail. One theory.
Oh, so he kept going in and out. Okay, yeah, they didn't show that. You know, but I mean it's iconic. Every scene was just great and well acted. You know, I wish they had did like a flash forward type of scene where we, like you said, like where we actually see Doughboy get killed and how his mother reacted. You know, how did it affect Trey and his other peoples and you know Ricky. Remember, Ricky had a kid.
Right.
He had a baby. So what happened with Ricky's baby and the mother? You know,
Knowing the mom probably kicked her ass out.
I don't think she did
Nah,
that.
let me stop. Nah,
I don't
nah,
think
let
she
me
did
stop.
that. I think she cared about Ricky. She cared about Ricky, so I think she would have kept the kid and the baby mother there. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, like I wanted them to do like what happened to them. You know what I'm saying? We only find out that Doughboy got killed. That was it. What happened with Trey and with Shorty? You know?
Let's not give Hollywood ideas and shit.
No, no, no. You cannot do this over at all. The classics you cannot touch. They touch certain classics, but is there some sacred classics that they can't fuck with? And if they fuck with it, they should go back on strike.
Exactly.
I will put them back on strike. Like, yo, we need another strike because y'all taking shit now. Y'all have no creative ideas in your bones. Y'all taking hood classics and fucking with them. No, you saw what they did to Superfly, right?
Oh God.
That shit. I didn't even watch it. I knew it was gonna be crap. That's why I didn't watch it. I'm like, I grew up on the original one. I'm not fucking with the soundtrack or the reboot.
Yeah,
Yep.
me neither.
We could have told them that y'all wasted your money doing that shit that nobody's gonna watch. That these kids don't give a fuck about no damn Superfly. Top of that, they had Future on that damn soundtrack, which was worse.
Oh yeah, like that makes it even better.
Yeah, exactly. Like he ain't no Curtis Mayfield. Hell fucking no. So that's the last thing they need to do is start touching the hood classics like Boys in the Hood.
Right.
Can't do it.
But yeah, man. Before we talk about the soundtrack, let me do like one quick thing right here. Give me 1 second.
And you know what's crazy, right?
Okay.
And you know what's crazy? Didn't they film this around the riots?
It was like a couple. It was like a year before because
Oh, year
they
before.
most started from like late '90, early '91.
Right. I remember them talking to John Singleton about the riots and all that.
Yeah, man. I mean, I know, like movies like what's the movie? Menace to Society. They filmed that around the riots.
What? But wait, Justice wasn't filmed around the time the riots happened, or no?
I think it was like a little after. I think,
Oh, after, okay.
but I could be wrong on that.
Right.
All right, let's talk about this soundtrack right quick.
Yes.
You have the soundtrack, right or no?
Nah, I never got it. I need it though. Eric, if you listening, I need that Boys in the Hood soundtrack, yo.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna get it myself. I don't give a damn. There's plenty of albums I'm trying to get next month. I'm just gonna add that to the list.
Yeah.
All right, so this is the soundtrack. It came out July 9th, 1991. It came out with singles such as "How to Survive in South Central" and "Tevin Campbell Just Asked Me to."
Yeah.
Also, Tony's "Just Me and You."
It's me
It was
and
produced by
you.
right,
Classic.
produced by John Singleton, executive producer, DJ Pooh, Rashad Coles, Albie Sure, Carl Barley, Craig King, DJ Jazzy Jeff, DJ Slip, Force One Network, Ice Cube, Keenan the Maestro Foster, Kyle West, Main Source, Raphael Sadiq, Sir Jinx, The Unknown DJ, and Too Short. People on this album include Ice Cube, Tevin Campbell, Chubb Rock, Yo Yo, Compton Most Wanted, Main Source, Tony, Money Love, Cam, High Five, Prodigy, yes, that's that Prodigy, Two Live Crew, Too Short, Force One Network, Quincy Jones, and Stanley Clark. All right, so just to let you guys know, a little disclaimer: a good portion of these songs, I did talk about, but there's different versions of the song we're going to talk about too. So I'm just going to let you guys know about that.
The different version of
And
the songs?
yeah,
Oh
we'll get
shit.
into that. We'll get into that.
Okay.
But we're going to start off with the first track, "How to Survive in South Central." This was produced. This was an Ice Cube joint. Um, you guys should know this was done around a death certificate sessions. One of my all time favorite Cube songs. He did this joint with Sir Jinx, which I felt like this is probably some of their best work they done together. Just a cautionary tale of surviving in South Central, like the title says, and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? I mean, love the very funky beat to this track right here too. They played this song at the credits too. You know what I'm saying, of this movie. So yeah, this is pretty ill. Oh, and one more thing.
Uh-huh.
If you guys want this version, you have to get a 2003 remastered edition of Death Certificate to
What?
get it. So
For what?
yeah,
Are you kidding
because
me?
when it was not released an OG copy of Death
Wow.
Certificate.
Wow.
Cause I got the I think I got the OG copy of Death
Right.
Certificate, so I don't have this version. I think I
So
got the OG copy.
and it's never been remastered, right?
Well, Death Certificate, yeah, it's been.
No, no, I'm talking about Boys in the Hood, the soundtrack.
I want to say it's been reissued. I don't know about remastered though. I
Yeah.
don't.
It needs to be remastered. Some of
Right.
those songs, especially the Compton Most Wanted song, it sounded low as fuck.
We'll talk about that. We'll talk.
Yeah. I love this song. This song is vintage Ice Cube at his finest, and he embodied the whole tone of the movie. You know, it was just had like that gangster, sinister sound to it. And he's saying, how to survive in South Central, the place where busting a cap is fundamental. Now you can't find the shit in the handbook. Take a close look at a rap crook. Rule number one: get yourself a gun, and nine in your ass will be fine. Loved it. This is classic Cube, the Cube that I missed, not Don Mega.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
We be clubbing.
What's so?
All right. Track number two, Just Ask Me To with Tevin Campbell and Chubb Rock. Pretty dope song. This is definitely akin to like his first album, the TEVIN, which is the album I need to get in my collection. You know what I'm saying? Oh wait, this was on the TEVIN album. Yeah.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, with this track right here, it's just, Tevin Campbell doing his thing and everything like that too. He had a Chubb Rock too, who at that time was getting more into like his more popularity because he had just dropped the one album with songs like "Treated Right" and
Yes.
"Just the Two of Us."
Blah, 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 blah,
That,
blah.
that's a classic
Hot dog.
record right there.
You got hot dog in the video dancing and shit.
Yeah, I always like the version he did on Yo MTV Raps
Yes.
and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Where he had the crowd participation and then he had that smooth instrumental in the beginning before he keeps
Yes.
rapping.
Hot diggity.
It used to be on YouTube, but I can't find that shit. It kind of pissed me off. My posse, but yeah, dope Tevin Campbell song.
Yes. This was fire. It had like a dope Jack swing beat. You know, I love the I'll Be Sure wrote it. He did some ad libs on it. They got the Chubb Rock verse. I
Right.
forgot all about this song, man. I forgot it was from this movie. It was dope.
Yeah, very dope track.
Yeah.
Track number 3, Mama Don't Take No Mess featuring Yo Yo. Um, I forgot about this track too. You know what I'm saying? It's actually a play on the James Brown song "Papa Don't Take No Mess," but it
Right.
uses the sample, a Commodore sample, and stuff like that too. And you guys know Yo Yo did appear on Boys in the Hood, like the scene where
Yeah.
Regina King's character, I forgot her character's name at the moment, but her character and the homegirl were talking about how fine Trey was, and Brandy got all jealous and shit like
Right.
that too. You know what I'm saying? So
Got all jelly.
yeah, um, right. But yeah, this track right here was pretty dope. We do need to talk about the Black Pearl album at some
Yes.
point.
I had
That's
that
actually
too,
my
but the
favorite.
CD had gotten damaged, so I had to get rid of it. But I need to get that. That's like mad coke
Yeah,
prices now.
yeah. Shout out to my homeboy Hoovy. He actually gave me that one for a good low though. If I find that, I'll probably send it to you.
Muggsy with some heat on that album.
You know, I've always said that those were some of Muggs' most underrated beats.
Yeah, that's so funky joint. What?
Yes.
Yeah, he gave her another bang on there. I'm like, yo, those are my favorite joints on there.
You know what? I'm gonna redo that schedule. We're gonna talk about that album next week too.
Definitely. Yo got to get her recognition, man. She don't get enough of it.
Yeah,
Everybody
man.
wants to talk about fucking Lauryn Hill. Like Lauryn Hill is the king of all female MCs or something.
They always gonna talk about Lauren and Kim and shit like that.
Yeah.
All due respect. But
Kim ain't touching.
Yo
Kim ain't fucking.
Yo's first. You said what?
Kim Yo is better looking than Little Kim.
I agree. Like even before Lil Kim had
the booty, no BBL shit.
Right. Even before Lil Kim had the surgeries and shit.
Facts.
By the way, Virginia King's character's name is Shalika. I just finally know that shit. Wow. Okay.
That's right. Yeah.
All right. But yeah, what do you have to say about this Yo Yo track?
This was fire. And this was like Yo Yo talking about like growing up with her mother didn't play no bullshit with her, and this is back when you listen to the track, was back when like kids had chores to do, and they wasn't sitting on their fucking phone and on TikTok all day and shit. They had chores to do. They had to go to church and listen to their mama, and she says brought up in the church house, and every Sunday was a must. When moms couldn't make it, we rode the church bus. Don't say you couldn't fade it because it was planning your week. No church, no running the streets, G. So she's talking about growing up in her household where her mother was strict with her and the family, and I loved it. I thought it was a dope ass beat. She had the James Brown sample. This could have been on Yo-Yo's first album.
And that's another album that's desperately need for remastered. I got the album though, but the bass is so fucking low.
They got to give a remaster for that.
Exactly. Like, come on, man. Like,
for sure.
Y'all remastering all these fucking albums. I don't even need remastering. Giving out colored vinyls and shit.
I just seen them re-release Conway Reject 2. I'm like, why are you all re-releasing that right now? For what?
For what?
What? Because it's splattered vinyl? Oh boy. I'm like, that doesn't need a remaster. Like Yo-Yo's albums need a remaster.
Right.
Boys in the Hood soundtrack needs a remaster.
Definitely. All right. Next track, Growing Up in the Hood. This is Compton's Most Wanted. So I've talked about this track when I think I did a solo review on Straight Checking Them. I don't think you were there on that one.
Okay.
Which I personally feel like that's like one of the most dopest gangster rap albums I've ever heard. Probably my second favorite album. I don't know. Some days I'll say Music Drive-By is my favorite. Some days I'll say Straight Checking Them. But if you listen to this version on the Boys in the Hood soundtrack and compared to the version on the Straight Checking Them album, they had a bit more instrumentation and bass on this one, and this was a bit low. But what they did on the Straight Checking Them album, when you get to the second verse, I want to say he's just rapping over the drum beat and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Honestly, I want to keep it a buck. This might be my favorite track on the soundtrack. To be real with you,
And
you know, I've
it's
always
also it's you know how they need a remaster because when you stream it, it's low on the streaming version,
right.
and that's the same that's the same when I heard the when Black Moon had remastered Into the Stage. Remember that second time they remastered and they came out with like the B sides and the instrumentals and the remixes. When I played it on
Yeah,
streaming, all of that shit was low. So they got to
yeah,
remaster.
yeah. You're right about that shit.
Yeah, y'all need Dr. Dre remastering your shit, man.
But yeah, what you think about this track?
This was fire, definitely another song that went with the movie and the whole tone and the feel of the film. You know, the bass line, the beat. You know, MC8 killed it, and I wasn't like I knew of Accounts Most Wanted. And I used to see their videos on Rap City, but I didn't really check for them until MC8 came out with Straight Up Menace for Men's Society because they were actually playing that over here. Like that was like the first time they played anything from MC8 on New York radio. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, this shit is fire. You know what I'm saying? Then We Come Strap come out, and that was a classic. And that was like my official like introduction to 8. He came out with a Straight Up Menace. But this was fire, definitely. 50 Cent used this beat too. He rhymed over this beat. I want to say it was for the Return to Body Snatchers mixtape when he was like, dissing Fat Joe and shit.
Oh wow,
Yeah. Straight killing him, Fat Joe.
yeah. I'm not surprised. That was a good ass beef though. That
Oh yeah,
50 and Joe
for
beef.
sure.
They, I got to tip my hat for both of them motherfuckers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Next joint. We got is Just a Friendly Game of Baseball remix, main source. So, of course, this is the remix of the track from the Breaking Atoms album, which I want to say that's actually my favorite track on Breaking Atoms.
Mm.
I'm gonna be real with you. I did not think this song needed a remix. I'm
Yeah,
gonna keep it a
they didn't need a remix of this.
need a remix.
Why not just
Like,
give them just have like send in a new track for the soundtrack? You know,
hell, I wouldn't mind if a Just Hanging Out remix and shit like that
right?
too. You know what I'm saying?
He
Because,
probably was going through it with the two brothers anyway at this time. So
but at the same time too, because this song is about police brutality,
right,
so it does fit the
it
soundtrack.
does fit the
You
album,
know,
right?
but I don't know, man. It's like just a funny game of baseball is like one of those seminal main source tracks that
Right.
just like looking at the front door, I don't want to see that song being redone.
Exactly. Or if they're gonna do a remix, why not have Ice Cube on there? He's
Mm,
in the movie. He's one of the stars. Have Ice Cube on the remix with it.
a Cuban large professor. That's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah. I'm pretty sure Cube would have did it. You know, you know.
All right.
I thought it was dope, but it didn't need a
Oh, my
remix.
fault.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next song, Me and You, featuring Tony. I love this song, but I'm not gonna hold you. In the movie, it had a weird placement in the movie. But let me talk about the song first. I mean, this definitely was like a nice, slow little ballad from the group and everything like that too. It has like you could tell like this was done during like the revival sessions and stuff like that too. You know what I'm saying? Which
Right.
honestly, classic album
Definitely.
when it comes to Tony. Y'all check it out review we did for all them albums and the review we did on Raphael Sadiq's first album as well too. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? We did that one on Tri's channel.
I forgot all about
So
that. Yes.
yeah. Now I know what you guys are asking. Why was this song in a weird placement? Well, I'm gonna be real with you. The montage movie scene when you had Brandy and Trey arguing and all them random motherfuckers just doing. I've always felt like it was weirdly placed. This song was weirdly placed and shit like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? And especially like the scene when they jumped old boy and stuff like it's like y'all playing the 2020 song. Maybe just the music in me just nitpicking though. But I would have probably put How to Survive in South Central on that scene and shit like that. It probably would have fit, but
Right.
that's always just bugged me about the movie. But yeah, this was a classic song.
That's probably that could have been like John's way of getting in another song in the movie. You know,
Right.
yeah, it was early Tony. This is in they prime, and it was dope. Definitely a dope ballad. You know,
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about that.
yeah.
All right. Next song is called "Work It Out" with Moni Love. Very, very, very dope track. I want to say they played this song on the cookout scene. I want to say, but I could be wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know Jazzy Jeff and Craig King did the beat to this one.
Oh, wow.
But at the same time, too, it does. I do kind of hear the home bass, the upbeat home bass shit.
Yeah.
Not home bass. Yeah, home bass. That's the album.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Which I want to say that's your favorite DJ Jazzy Jeff professional
Yes,
album.
that's my favorite one. Yes.
Yeah. All right, but yeah, this one was pretty ill. I like this one.
This one I remember, like, I want to say there's a video for this, but it was like she needed a chorus for the song. First off, there's no
Yeah.
chorus. It's just like some scratching going on. It felt like it was left off or whatever. Beat was fire. It reminded me of like the other soundtrack song she had, "Full Time Love" from Class Act.
Ooh.
This song could have been on her first album. You know what I mean? And it wasn't. It's just the soundtrack because at least with Full Time Love they put it on the second album on In the Word or Two, but this song is just on the soundtrack. So it's not on none of her albums. But I liked it. I think had like that dope hip hop soul New Jack Swing beat. I just think she needed a chorus for this song, but Moni Love did her thing.
Very underrated. I never hear her get her props like that.
Yeah, she's another one. She and Yo-Yo.
Yeah, I'm glad we talked about her two albums too.
Yeah, definitely.
See, y'all, we always ahead of the game, y'all. So.
Yes, for sure.
All right. By the way, did you get the schedule I sent you?
Yes.
Let me know if anything I have to work on and shit.
All right.
All right. Track number 8, Every Single Weekend from Cam. If I'm not mistaken, I want to say this is actually Cam's first single on Wax. And cousin, I've talked about his history with Cube when I did the Ice Cube versus Cam and solo beat video. So y'all go check that shit out. You know what I'm saying? And I need to talk about his albums like Never Again and the Made in America. That is an underrated album from Cam. To me, that's his magnum opus in my opinion. But yeah, man. This one right here, this is pretty much Cam just talking about it's like a day in the life and shit like that. One of those kind of songs. Very dope track. Yeah, Cam definitely did his thing on this one.
Yeah, this was fire. Definitely love the beat for this. Cam is another underrated artist, and Pete Rock sampled this also. He sampled like there's a part of the song like in the background it's like a weird melodies, like some ringing noise. And Pete had sampled like that part there's a song called The PJs with Raekwon and Master Killer from the end.
Yes, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That melody he got from this song. And
nice.
It's dope, man. Like I love the Cam. I used to see Cam also in Rap City. He used to play his stuff, and he never gets mentioned when it comes to West Coast artists for whatever reason.
You know why
But
though?
he's dope. Why is it?
Two reasons. One, because Nation of Islam shit, and two, the whole beef with Cube. People still have feelings about that shit.
Right. Well, I mean, shit. Well, Cube squashed beef with Common and with Cypress Soul. So what's the issue with Cam?
No, he squashed the beef and stuff like that too, but still, he was more like an underground compared to Q, if that makes sense.
Right.
I've always felt like if Cam had more, like, I hate to say it, but if he was more like in the New York, he'll probably get more love and shit. Like, I hate to say it.
Probably. Yeah. Probably. I mean, cause we seen like West Coast artists like Cypress Hill, The Far Side, High Road get more love over here. Dilated Peoples. You know what I mean? So
Unfortunately.
yeah.
Yeah, man. But we definitely gotta talk about Cam in the future.
Yeah.
That pull your skirt up disc though against Q. Whoo!
Mm.
Whoo! Anyway, next track is Too Young, featuring High Five and Prodigy. So you guys should know, in case you guys don't know, this is actually Prodigy's first appearance on Wax. Before Mobb Deep and everything like that too. You know what I'm saying? He did his thing on this one. Yeah, man. High Five is a group. There was no for songs like I Like the Way You Kiss Me, Hard to Get. They had a very tragic story, in my opinion. It's like, god damn. You know what I'm saying? Rest in peace to Tony Thompson. Rest in peace to him. I know somebody else from that group passed away. I think it's the I want to say it's Pooh. One of them. It's like they had like a tragedy and shit. But anyway, this is like a nice little song. If you're a fan of High Five, this is definitely one of those songs that you might know because it was on their first album too. An album I almost got at one point, but I was like, I'll probably see it again.
Yeah. It was cool. I liked it. We got like a New Jack Swing beat, and you got a young Prodigy on there. He don't even sound like Prodigy at that time. And,
Right.
it's definitely a dope track.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about that. Yeah, is it me or was his voice more higher and shit?
Yeah, it was like you couldn't even tell it was for your Prodigy.
Right.
It was just like him by himself and no Havoc, and he just was killing bars at a young age.
Yeah, doing his fucking thing. All right. Next track. Give me 1 second. Don't mind me. I'm getting ready for work and shit too. I'm doing this. Hanging Out featuring Two Live Crew. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't really care for this song to be real with you.
Right.
I like Two Live Crew, but I didn't like the beat to this one. I didn't care for the beat.
I don't like none of these shit.
But
So
this was alright. It was alright.
I don't like none of this shit.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's what I gotta say.
Yep.
We're gonna go into next song. It's Your Life with Too Short. Now I talked about this song when I did the Short Dogs in the House review. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite Too Short albums. An album that I don't hear a lot of people give us just due to. You know what I'm saying? Um, that album has some heat though, like the Ghetto. No, not hold on, not wait, was it? Yeah, the Ghetto was on that. Short but funky, Paula and Janet, Pimpology. Hell, Q, if I'm not mistaken, was on that word. Ain't nothing but a word to me. He was on that one too. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, It's Your Life. This definitely was a nice little track and shit like that. I love the beat. That ding 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 ding. You know what I'm saying? Very, very, very dope album. Dope song, excuse me. And yeah, dope album. Fuck it.
Yeah, it was cool. I liked it.
Yeah. Alright. Next song, Spirit. Does anybody care with the Force One network. I don't know a lot of information about the Force One network and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
this one was pretty decent. It was,
Yeah, I don't know who they are.
yeah. All right. Next song is Quincy Jones with September, Brazilian wedding song. This was on his Back on the Block album, which is my favorite album from Quincy. You know what I'm
Classic.
saying? This the yeah, this is the doo-doo-doo-doo-doo, Trey and Brandy Loves theme. That's all I'm gonna say on that one. You know what I'm saying? So, check out that review we did on Back on the Block. We do have to talk about Q's Juke Joint at some point too, so I want to do that one.
Yeah, that was fire, y'all. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. And the last song is Black on Black Crime with Stanley Clark. This is a song where they were about to hunt down Vicky's killers and shit like that. That dee 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 dee, that song.
Yeah,
Um, very dope track. This is the kind of track you will play really when you just cruising down the street. You know what I'm saying? At late at night. No pun intended and stuff like that too. But I've always loved this song. Stanley Clark has always been a dope jazz artist to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, dope masterpiece.
classic.
Yeah.
Classic.
All right. Overall, the soundtrack is very dope too. I actually enjoy the soundtrack more than I expected to enjoy it and stuff to enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? I feel like it's a pretty dope soundtrack.
Right.
You know, but I always felt like I hate to say it, I always feel like it don't get its just due a lot compared to like
And why is that?
because it's not really a fully a hip hop soundtrack. Because you really think about the Juice soundtrack,
Mhm.
Menace to Society, um, Don't Be a Menace, all great soundtracks and classics in its own right. But this one had a more R&B jazz kind of flavor to it. You know what I'm saying? Like it had its hip hop. You know what I'm saying? But it definitely has R&B and jazz, which you can't really call it strictly a hip hop soundtrack and everything like that too. You know, but I feel like it's just as good as the ones I mentioned. Honestly, musically, I definitely feel like it's probably one of the most versatile black soundtracks, black movie soundtracks you'll ever hear. And dare I say it, I'll probably get this a 4.5 out of 5. What about you, Troy? Try. What about you?
I love it. I think it's a great soundtrack, man.
Yes, sir.
Like it's a great mix. Like we had balance with the soundtrack. So you know what I mean? Like it was a great classic, great mixing. Are we doing like the full album breakdown yet or no?
We just reviewed the soundtrack.
No, I'm saying like are we ranking it now?
Oh, yeah, yeah, we're ranking it.
Like like this is not the first time we had a soundtrack with like hip hop and R&B. You know what I mean? So you look at like the great ones. We had Juice, like you mentioned, and um, Who's the Man? You know,
Yes.
Soul Food. You know what I'm saying? Like this was great. Like production was great. The artists that they chose to be on this album. You know, um, I love the Ice Cube song, the Yo Yo song. You know, the Tevin Campbell song, the Money Love song, the Compton Most Wanted song. Like definitely a five mic classic movie and soundtrack are like classics to me.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you about that. It's a five
Yeah.
my class. I would say 4.5 for me, but I respect your opinion. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna end this off right here because I gotta get ready for work in the morning. But this has been a very dope movie soundtrack review we've done. I've always
Yeah.
felt like this movie. is one of the most influential movies of all time and everything. Everyone has to see this movie in their lifetime, no question. All right, so I'm gonna end this off right here. So, this Sunday, keyword possibly, we're going to talk about the Childish Gambino Bando Jones album and whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? But let me know if that works well for you, because if not, we can always reschedule that one. Yeah, hopefully that's gonna be. I know that's gonna be a very interesting album and stuff like that too. But the final Childish Gambino joint, so really can't wait to talk about that one. What else? What else? What else? Yeah, man. Over here trying to get ready for the collection video this October and
Mm-hmm.
whatnot too. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be mid October, so that gives us ample enough time for us to get ready. And that's all I gotta say for right now. Anything you want to say before we head out?
Um, Shout out to Rocker Bash. We did a live stream on
Yeah,
Wednesday. That was great. We talked about the Eminem album and his thoughts on that. We talked about the NFL season coming up. We all type of shit. So check that out. And next week I'll be dropping another vid. And every week it's gonna be something back to my platform and bringing out great content.
yeah, I can't wait. I definitely can't wait. Oh yeah, one more thing. Me and Lashia might also do something next week too.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna say what it is yet, but I want to get her final word on it. But
Right.
yeah, expect the infamous Lashia to come. I
Mm.
think I might come to her channel, but more information on that coming soon. And yeah, without further ado, appreciate the show as usual. Y'all can catch this movie streaming. Um, Soundtrack, I want to say, is out of print, but it should not be too expensive to find. So, other than that, hope you guys have a good night, and I'll see y'all later. Peace.
Peace.